An often debated topic in the Zeitgeist movement is how many people we need to reach in order to make the vision of the Venus Project a reality. So, I did a little statistical analysis to break this down. I looked at the top 25 wealthiest nations in the world, from the United States all the way down to Austria. Why? Because it's basically these nations that determine the ebb and flow of global economics. These nations also have the kind of education in their populations that would be most capable of understanding what the Venus Project is all about. The poorest people in the world don't care what new system we implement, nor are they really connected to the circumstances that affect their lives. They're getting screwed every day, so they'll be happy with any change that betters their lives. It might as well come from us. Anyway, using the most recent population data I could find, I totaled the populations of these nations and arrived at just over 4.2 billion people. Next, I shaved off the top 10% of each nation, representing the wealthiest people that probably wouldn't be too happy about killing the monetary system. This added up to just over 423 million people. Then, I went nation by nation and found the most recent poverty rate data I could for that nation. Most of the data was from 2005 and 2006. It was hard to find anything more recent, although some nations were updated as far as 2009. Sources included the World Health Organization and the UN, and the totals ended up being just over 976 million people. After taking this into account, the revised total was just over 2.8 billion people, a far cry less than the real planetary total. Now, how many of those people do you think we really need to reach? What's the tipping point? Half of this will be just over 1.4 billion. 40%, 1.1 billion. 30%, 851 million. 25% would be at 709 million. Here's something to chew on. If you get 25 to 30% of any group sample size to agree to a particular idea publicly, it can end up influencing the remainder of the group pretty easily. Peer pressure, if you will. So I'm sure once we reach a couple of million members, we'll start making headlines and we'll become more known to more people. Growth spikes would surely occur thereafter. So in short, we don't need to reach the whole planet. Hell, we don't even need to reach a fifth of it. So let's not get bogged down in the daunting task of convincing the world, because we don't have to. Focus on your backyard and your area, and the rest will fall like dominoes.